Hello.
Welcome back to Lobotomies in the ladies' room, featuring, well, definitely my cat this episode. We'll see if Clay behaves.
He's knocked out right now, so fingers crossed. He is out like a light, and I'm so thankful for it.
Okay, well,
Kikiana. I love how she just like perches.
his cousin needs to lock in. Anyways, you're here yet again with your hosts, live from New York, Donovan,
Yes.
and
Well,
live
yes.
from Chicago in the Midwest, somebody who just housed a chicken Caesar salad, me, Kira.
I love that for you.
Dude, I don't know what happened. Do you hear
We
that?
both have motorcycles go by at the same time. That's
Dude,
crazy.
what? That was a little. That was a little much.
Linked. Girl, how are you?
Girl, I'm here. I'm queer. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Happy Pride, everyone.
My freedom, my freedom to do whatever I want with my days is slowly coming to an end.
Mm.
Not even slowly, quickly. It's actually quickly coming to an end. Um, so I was talking to Donovan before we started recording. I'm waking up at 6 a.m. to like get back in the swing of things. And so now I'm just awake every day at 6 a.m. for no fuck ass reason.
But you know what? You can get up and journal, get up and like watch a program. I gotta turn on my programs.
Me
Um,
just up at 6 a.m. watching Jeopardy reruns.
honestly, period. I started watching that new Apple TV show, Widow's Bay.
Do you like
I
it?
saw a clip of it on TikTok. It's like a horror comedy situation.
Okay.
Um, it's actually really good. Apple TV, I feel like it's slept on. They have some good shows.
Ooh, yeah, actually, I would highly, highly, highly agree. I feel like it is the least utilized streaming service.
Yeah, there's some gems on there for sure. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah.
How are you though, girl? How
Girl, I'm
how what
tired.
was there?
I'm tired. I came home and knocked out. I had totally like woke up and forgot what day it was. I'm like, is it still Tuesday? Is it still what's going on? I woke up so disoriented and like sweating from a nap that I started at like I don't know what time did I get home, like 4. Woke up in a confused sweat. I was sleeping so hard. He was walking around the house. And I opened my eyes to him staring at me like, "So, what are you about to do?"
What you trying to get into?
What you exactly, with his chain on. "What are you trying to get into? Are you
Yeah.
gonna feed me?" After he literally, like, his feeder has, like, triggered already. He ate all his food. I'm like, "Okay, well, beloved." He's at the point now where he's eating wet and dry food every single day.
I love body positivity.
Like, I'm like, "Come on now.
He
You just ate a
he's a
whole
growing
can of wet
boy.
food." A whole can of wet food and, like, I don't know, a 4th cup of dry food. Like and I keep the dry food out just so he has something to munch on,
Mhm.
like, when I leave or, like, if there's long periods between when he's gonna eat. He's like, "You know what? Imma just snack on this," and then he ends up eating the whole thing. So I'm like, "Alright, diva."
He wants to get his gains for
He
summer.
does, he does. But you know what? He's been also very active because I have one of those laser pointer things. I use it for my class, but well, I was supposed to use it for my class, but for some reason it doesn't work on my smart board. It just disappears. So I've been using it at home and he has a hoot and a half playing with that laser, and then he sits there and he's like, he'll stop, he'll go, and then he'll lay down. And then when he's ready, he'll come stand next to me and he'll look at me and he'll be like, all right, pull it back out. Bring the laser.
It's always the unemployed who sit around and sigh.
Every time. Every time. Or he'll come sit in my lap and he'll just go, and I'm like, okay, heavy load. What's on your plate? Like, what are you sighing about?
Dude,
What is there to sigh about?
he's going through things that, like, you just couldn't imagine, like
Like, wow, it's so hard just like having seafood and churro and baked grilled chicken with broth and watching your programs all day.
this damn cat is eating better than I do.
Girl, he eats so like the churro sticks, but they make the little fillets too with
Mhm.
like actual like chicken breast in broth or like actual tuna in broth. And so I'll get that for him like when I go to Tesla Life because that's the only place I've been able to find it. And I'll put that in his bowl. I'll turn on his program, which is either a bunch of lizards on the screen or National Geographic tiger documentaries. And he'll eat that. And then he'll sit on my bed and he'll watch a show. He'll play with his toy. And he'll take a nap.
Man, he is just like me for real. The
He's
only
like,
is
ooh.
like like, okay, so do not be fooled by my earlier statement of, "Oh, I just housed a chicken Caesar salad." That is not a common occurrence here. Let us be so clear. It's usually like
Hmm.
sourdough bread and whatever viscous liquid I decide to like
Not
slather all over
viscous.
it. But then yeah, I eat my bread, sometimes toasted, sometimes not. And I watch my programs, I read my
Hmm.
books, I get up on Tumblr, I read my fan fiction, I
Hmm.
baby my bang, I BB my belt. You know, it was a missed opportunity not being born a cat, I feel.
I'm like, oh, to just lounge in the sun on a blanket and eat treats.
And yell.
Right. Just scream. Because why not?
Mm,
Girl, speaking of fan fiction, you know what? Thought starter. It kind of has nothing to do with our topic today, folks. But speaking of fan fiction, I logged, well, I'm always logged into my Tumblr, but I opened the app for the first time in a while.
mm.
Girl, the amount of fan fiction I have saved, specifically Paul Mescal fan fiction.
I did
It's
not.
like the first 6 likes or like saves in my Tumblr,
Oh, okay.
along with
I did not realize
like
we were like getting intimate today.
like girl, I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl. Um, hold on, where are my likes? Hold on. Let me go through here. So, oh, this isn't it. Look, you know what? I'm gonna expose myself real quick. This is the first piece of fan fiction that pops up in my likes.
You're kidding.
I can't even tell you. Let me read the summary of this. Okay. For the ones who are just listening, um, the first piece of fan fiction that pops up in my Tumblr likes is called The Wonder of You. It's a Johnny Storm. Johnny Storm, Fantastic Four. Um, Played by Joseph Quinn. Fan fiction. And this is a summary. Over 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 your 4 years of working for Reed Richards, you've given yourself one job. You can be his friend. but don't fall for Johnny Storm's charms. Too bad, you had already failed that mission before it could even begin. What's on yours?
Okay, so I have a separate Tumblr account just to read fan fiction.
Well, I applaud you.
Yeah. And Jesus Christ. So I'm really into, unfortunately, A Court of Thorns and Roses. Um,
Mhm.
I dude, I'm sorry, but that lady did something with her little fairies, okay? Like, are they the best books out there? No. Are they fun as hell though? Yes.
Mhm.
Um, so literally, I'm not kidding, like, all of my recent and I'm not kidding, I have an anonymous Tumblr for the purpose of reading.
Untitled.
Dude, like, I can't have any identifying content on this bitch.
No, I don't think
No,
I've even, like,
like,
because I had to remake a Tumblr account.
this is for me and me alone. I can't I can't let anybody.
These are for my eyes only.
That being said, all of these are Asriel X reader inserts. That
Mhm.
have the your name.
Mhm.
So this one apparently is inspired by We Hug Now by Sydney Rose, and it's titled I have a feeling you got everything you wanted. That's crazy.
That
That's
is crazy.
that's crazy. The summary
Ooh.
Fuck. Oh my god. Well, I hope this didn't shatter the illusion of us to anybody who was. The summary is, dude, it's so serious. Falling in, falling in love with Asriel had never been in the cards. Falling in love with anyone other than the husband your father appointed to you had always been a far-fetched notion, and that was the truth you had lived by, maybe 10 years ago. So we'll see what happens because I liked it and then I had to go to the store with my mom. So I will be reading this after after I
Mhm.
record.
Mhm.
Um it's 5K words. So I'm gonna be sat for a minute.
Yeah, you're gonna be sad.
I also have liked master lists of
Yes.
multi-part uh
Yeah, I love
fan
a master
fiction.
list.
Um like I just finished reading one called Where Worlds Collide, where the reader insert had a love child with Resand and didn't tell him and disappeared for 5 years.
It gets
O-
serious with the
only
fanfics.
lo and behold, he runs into them and his kid looks just like him. And there's a lot of explaining to do. I
It's yeah, yeah. I'm looking at the one right after that, and it's a Paul Mescal and we're what's the one? What's the show?
normal people
Um, Normal People. Yes, and
love.
it's called You Always. There's no summary for this one, but the first little like paragraph it says you stood in front of the mirror far longer than necessary. The reflection stared back at you, familiar, but always seen through a lens that you couldn't quite remove. The stretch the stretch of the skin over your hips, the softness of your stomach, and the curve of your thighs. You dragged your sweater down further, even even if you knew you it wouldn't make a difference. You all right? Paula's voice was soft from behind you.
God.
You didn't even hear him come into the room. Yeah. Well, folks, that's not our topic for today.
No, it could be another time, but I'm gonna really have a
That
think on that
could
'cause
be a whole episode of its own. But today we are talking about the insane city in which we live, or cities, I should say. New York and Chicago, and just our experiences because some places just aren't real. It feels like we live in a game lobby where people just spawn and things just happen. So, Kira, I would say in the past 6 months, what's the craziest thing you've seen?
Lord Jesus. See, here's the thing, right? I haven't left my house very much because I've been fun
Fair.
employed. Um, so I'm gonna extend that out to a year
Yeah.
because I have been fun employed. And as of late, I was giving a lady directions. I was like
Mhm.
taking the train out to go see. Oh, actually, this wasn't the last 6 months because my sister just graduated high school. I was taking the train out to go see my sister graduate from high school.
Mhm.
And as I'm like sprinting through Union Station because I cannot miss this train, otherwise everyone's gonna yell at me for being an hour late. This lady like stops me and is asking for directions. And super common in a massive train station like
Mhm.
that. If you're not from here or you don't like ride in through Union very often, like I'm sure
Mhm.
you get lost. Whatever. She's asking me for directions, I'm giving them to her, whatever. I'm thinking that's the extent of it. Like, okay, cool. You know where you're going. I know where I'm going. I have 2 seconds to get on this train.
Mhm.
As I'm, like, departing from her, she, like, rummages in her pockets and pulls out a single crack pipe and was like, "Do you want a hit of this?" And I was like, "Mind you, behind us is a Jamba Juice. To the left of us is a Nuts on Clark.
Uh-huh. And
I've
that's a
never
nuts on Clark. Oh my god.
It smells of pineapple juice, sweat,
Mhm.
floor cleaner, and popcorn.
Mhm.
And this lady sitting here, and I'm telling you, bro, she looked like some regular old bitch who, like, walked out of a corporate job. Like, and I didn't realize I
Crack
was
pipe
doing.
in the pocket is crazy.
Dude, when I tell you she, like, rummaged in her fucking dress pants and was like, "Do you want a hit of this?" And I'm sitting here like, "What the fuck?"
Not the
And I was
dress
like
pants.
I was like, "Girl, I have to get on this train." And so immediately stepped around her and continued. But
Mhm.
funnily enough, if I had a dollar for every time somebody offered me a hit off their crack pipe for directions somewhere, I'd have $2. It's very weird that it's happened more than once.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's always some chick. It is always some chick with a crack pipe next to a train asking me if, like, in exchange for my services, she can get me hooked on phonics. And by phonics, I mean crack cocaine.
Want a hit of the leapfrog? No? Okay.
Both times it's been white ladies too.
That's wild.
I thought they were like a meth people.
Eh, duality.
You know what? She's got range.
Right? She
She's
got
sub
range.
she's subverting expectations.
And you know what? I don't wanna say good for her, but, like, I I hope
Perhaps
she gets the support that she needs.
I hope she got to where she was going because
That too.
I truthfully didn't keep up with her whereabouts. I saw that my train was at 2:30. It was 2:28. I had
Yep.
to get to the other side of the building.
Yeah.
Did I make it? I sure did.
Of course you did. Union
But
Station is so, like Union Station is a journey.
I probably could have made it there in under 2 minutes if I took the hit off the crack pipe. But
You would've just teleported there.
dude, I would have
You
floated
would've
right down
just
the
spawned
escalators.
right into the seat on the train.
Dude, I'd be like someone's Florida man, but in Union Station.
My gosh. I've only gone through Union Station maybe like a handful of times to take the Amtrak. Other than that, because my metro station was Millennium Station
Mhm.
over on Michigan and what is that? Roosevelt? Something like that.
Something of the sort.
Something of the sort.
Yeah, no, people think
Yeah.
that, like, Union Station and Ogilvy, because a lot of suburban people
Mhm.
Britain, a lot of people think that it's, like, real cute and it's just a bunch of, like, Woodfield Mall goers.
No, it's not.
No, girl.
It's like Chicago's Port Authority.
It is a place that anyone and everyone goes to. It is, in fact, the dream that Martin Luther King Jr. had for us as a nation. In the best and worst
However,
ways.
yes.
In the best and worst ways. I've seen people who unfortunately have gangrenous limbs hanging out in
Mhm.
the food court next to the Sbarro,
Yeah.
and then I've also seen a single Birkin in line for an Amtrak. It
Yeah.
there the, like, class consciousness exists in
Yes.
Union Station.
That is true. That is true. Um, I
What's
don't know,
the
I'm trying to think. The past 6 months?
what's going on in New
Girl,
York?
it's always something going on. Well, I guess I have a couple examples. Like on my commute every morning, obviously I see a lot of the same people. But there is this man that when I'm on the train to work every morning, I always see him on the platform. I always see this most of the time the same people on the platform. But he freestyles in um how do I put it? He freestyles in like bits and pieces.
Mhm.
The music isn't playing out loud. It's in
Okay.
his headphones,
Okay.
but he's freestyling and trying to catch whatever beat that has changed. So it'll be, mind you, 6:45 in the morning, 7 a.m. And you'll just hear like, um, trying to think of like something he said. Like he'll just like blurt stuff out, but the way that he says it, it'll be like, the train is coming and I'm broke. You just mad because you woke. And then like he'll just like pause for a really long time and then he'll like start up again. But it's always like the same cadence and like the same little like 2 bars. And I'm just sitting there like, I would like to hear this beat, sir.
He he just wants you to know that he's finding it. You don't know where
He's finding. Do you know what? That's the perfect way to put it. He's finding it. And he's finding it every morning on the train on the platform. There's another lady, kind of like the crack pipe connection. She she seems very nice. I see her every morning too. But the past couple mornings, unfortunately, I don't carry cash on me. I probably should, but like not like I just be like, here, 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 here. But she was like, she screamed at me from like down the street as I was walking out of the bodega. And she goes, "Hi, Queen. Hi, good morning, Queen." And I'm like, who is she talking to? There's several of us on this sidewalk. So I just kind of like peeked around. Like I didn't even turn around all the way. I was just like, hello. And she was like, "Yeah, do you have $1?" And I said, "Unfortunately, no." "That's okay, Queen. You have a good day, Queen." And I'm like, "Okay." And you would think, okay, she just yelled at you from down the street. She had a hula hoop around her neck.
I have one of those outside my Whole Foods.
I was like, what? So we're like, hello, Queen. Good morning, Queen. Like, where'd you get this big old hula hoop from? And how are you doing that and being so like chill about it. And
she's got
also
talent.
vocalizing like that so early in the morning. And I just had to be like, "Okay, but you have a good day though. Thank you, queen." As she's like booking it down the sidewalk.
I love people like that. I really do. Literally, I have one of those that's outside my Whole Foods, except for when gets into arguments with, like, the white people in my neighborhood. Then she goes
Mm.
outside the Walgreens and does the same old shit.
Now she moves outside the Walgreens. She's like,
But
"Let
she
me
walks
change destination real quick."
she walks literally across the street to the Walgreens and starts hooting and hollering. But she's the
Girl.
best. If you go to Whole Foods by my apartment on Sunday, she's singing church hymns.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's putting on a show, on a
Yeah.
concert.
No,
Okay.
the only possessions I've ever seen her with is, like, a mobile karaoke machine and her walker,
Okay.
and
Okay.
she gets into it, but sometimes if, like, some super cranky Whole Foods employees are working that day, like,
Mhm.
screaming matches, and then she'll, like, shuffle to Walgreens, and then they'll just do the shit out there.
I Ooh, you know what? Speaking of entertainment, so everyone knows, like, the whole Showtime situation on the subway. It's not as often as an occurrence as I feel like it's shown to be. The Showtime experience is, like, when people perform on the train.
Mhm.
I was coming home from work one day. I was so tired and just, like, irritated, and it's always when you're tired and irritated. Why did I sit down? Sat down on the train, went a couple stops, and I'm just like I think that's also the day I forgot my headphones. So I
Damn,
was already like,
damn,
"Just end it. End it." 2
damn.
stops or so go by, and a group of people get on. And you know what? I'm not mad at them, but it was just the type of day that I was having. But also, this man had no business playing accordion in my face.
I
Of
know
all
know of
instruments
this man. Oh, I know of this man.
of all instruments of all days, he was just in my face ripping the accordion. And I was just staring at him like, "Can you move on down the road, please?" Like,
Move on down the road.
please, ease on down. Like, why or what is this accord like, he was doing great, but I was like, "Not today's not the day. It's
Yeah,
not the day. The accordion solo can be shared with others, please." Yeah,
it was shared with you that day, though.
it was shared with me that day.
He saw it in your eyes that you
He
need
was
it.
like, "She needs that. She
He's like,
needs this performance."
he said she doesn't have any headphones. I know she's wasting away in silence. I can fix that.
And it's hard because it's like, I don't have any headphones. It's not like scrolling on the phone doesn't work. Like, you need headphones on so you can fully, like, lock in and lock out and
Mhm.
it's, like, dissociate. Otherwise, people are gonna be more inclined to talk to you. I'm like,
No, it's true. That's something that I think a lot of also, if you haven't gotten the theme of this video, unless you already said this, you might have.
briefly, yeah.
Well,
Our
girl,
crazy skis.
that's right, you did say this. Ooh,
Yeah.
okay, so let me not regurgitate what was already said. But to those who are considering moving to a major city, especially
Mhm.
a major city akin to a place like New York, Chicago, the only way to get people to concretely leave you alone 90% of the time, because it's not
Okay.
100% of the time, because someone will not give a fuck and they'll still try to talk to you regardless.
Mhm.
But a solid 90% of the time, you put them damn headphones on, you
You're good as gold.
crank whatever it is you're listening to, be it music, be it an audiobook, be it Lobotomies in the Ladies' Room hosted by Donovan Beat.
Yes.
If you just gotta you have to, like, put them in and glaze over, and people will leave you alone.
But you know what's crazy though? Sometimes I do that and I don't play music. I'll just put my headphones on. Like,
Yeah.
if I need silence, but I also don't wanna be spoken to, I'll just put my headphones on and play nothing. Or I'll turn them on and turn on the transparency feature so I can like hear what's going on still, still got to be aware. But I'll just have my headphones on. People don't know. They'll never know that I'm not listening to music.
What are you gonna do? Take my AirPod out and check me?
Right.
I wish you
Like,
I wish
right.
you can feel the wrath of my lavender colored pepper spray. Please
Talk
take
to her, not to me.
please take my AirPod out and see what
But
happens.
what do you think is a quintessential like city of Chicago experience? Like you experience it or like see something and you're like, man, only here.
Girl, the tamale man. Are you kidding? If you have not, okay, y'all, okay, okay, I have to get into it because I've brought this up to people who have never been here before, and they're like, "What the fuck?
Mhm.
There's a tamale man, bitch. There's a tamale man."
There is a tamale man.
If you are in a dive bar, specifically a cash only dive bar,
Mhm.
between the hours of 11 p.m. and 4 in the morning,
Mhm.
there will be a mysterious apparition who seems as though he came from literally thin air. Like,
Mhm.
cause like, I never see the tamale man, like, walking on the street. Like, he just
No.
shows up
Yeah.
and makes my night. But
Yeah.
it is like a quintessential, specifically Chicago nightlife experience.
Mhm.
Because even though legally, I think every bar has to serve some type of food,
Mhm.
is that accurate? Probably
No.
not. The amount of times I've been places, I have not seen a lick of a carb.
Yeah.
But you know who always shows up for you no matter where you are?
The
And it's
tamale
always
man.
it's the same man somehow every time. I've been all over
Yeah.
the city, and the same man continues to show up at the bar.
Mhm.
But man, that tamale man's gonna show up and he's gonna make your day. And it's gonna be the best fucking tamale you've ever had in your life. And then he'll disappear.
Love that.
And then he'll just disappear into the night and you never see him again. And then he comes back when you least expect him, like Santa Claus.
Yeah, like Nanny McPhee.
Dude, literally,
Yeah.
why did I picture Super Nanny when you said that? I know that's not. I know that's not it. I know they're both British. Um,
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
outside of the dollar slice, is there like any part of bar culture in
Mm.
New York that is just like
Ooh.
so New York?
You know what? I honestly, even though I've lived here for like almost 5 years, I don't feel like I started going out because I didn't have any friends until like a couple years ago. And you know what? I think for me, it's the bar journey, not so much the bar itself. I think it's the characters that you come across as you're journeying through your night because you'll see and meet people that you didn't know existed. And I don't say that in a way like, "Oh, like I didn't know this person." No, like this character of person does not seem like they would live in the real world. Or like also just coming across bars in like random places
Mhm.
and like a basement of somewhere. Like you'll just hear music and follow it. It's almost like your inhibition goes out the window.
Dude, feel the rain on your skin.
I was just about to say that. And you have to, and it's just like, obviously have, your street smarts on and be safe, but, like, it's like, where's that music coming from? Let's follow it. Or, I think when I first moved here, within my first 2 weeks, I was just, like, walking around the city, like, I was in the Lower East Side, and I was just, like, wandering around trying to, like, figure out and, like, teach myself how to use the subway without, like, Google Maps and stuff like that, so, I'm like, "Alright, let me, like, take the subway downtown, I'll get off," you know, I think I got off at Houston, and I just, like, walked around, and it's like, "Alright, I'm gonna figure out, like, where to go from here." I was walking around the Lower East Side, and I was going down the sidewalk for my people who live in New York. I was going, um, down Rivington. If you know, you know. And this lady was just shuffling in front of me, and I wasn't like, she was I was we were walking towards each other on the sidewalk, and I wasn't paying any attention. I was just like, "Oh," just looking around. She stops in the middle of the sidewalk, pulls her pants down, and fully does a number 2, 3, and 4
I didn't even know that.
in the middle of the sidewalk in broad daylight. It had to be like 1 PM.
Jesus.
And then the lady that was walking behind her, we locked eyes, and we were just like and we just kept walking. But I also feel like that's a key part of New York, like, don't say anything, mind your business, just keep walking.
Yeah, that's kind of like the golden rule of living in a city.
Yeah,
Unless what you're witnessing is like someone having a medical event.
yeah,
When
or
people
extreme danger,
Yeah, like
then
when you see something outlandish, you just kinda have to let it rock and hope you don't get
yeah,
involved in some way. Like,
yeah.
man, sometimes see, I was on the bus going to Target, and I was in
Mhm,
Lakeview.
mhm,
The things that you end up finding out happen in Lakeview would actually have your jaw on the floor because as far as everyone's
yeah,
concerned, that's either, like, a super, like it's a great place to be a single straight woman, and it's an excellent place to be a single queer person.
mhm,
It's not a great place to be a single straight man because you never know who's for who. But I was on the bus going to Target before,
mhm,
um, the election, and I was minding my own business. I just wanted to get some dog treats.
mhm,
And it's full as hell because it's, like, rush hour. And this was a moment where I quickly was like, "Yeah, I absolutely have to mind my business while I'm on this hoe," because this
mhm,
like, this and I'm talking kid, like, he looked to be in his late teens, early 20s. Now, I don't know what type of sets are being repped in fucking
mhm.
Lakeview, but this man not only drops a Bowie knife out of his pocket, but then is, like, loading the clip to his Glock, and I'm just sitting here like,
On the bus?
"Yeah, girl," like, he's got his hood up, he's got his shiesty on, he's, like, living like, doing whatever, and I'm like, "Okay, so what is happening in Lakeview these days that someone is, like, wandering around with a Bowie knife and, like, individually loading his clip?" I didn't ask questions, you know what I did? I moved seats. I said, "You know what? This
Individually loading clips is crazy.
I was like, "This doesn't have anything to do with me. This actually has nothing to do with me. I'm gonna mind my own business. I'm not even gonna look anymore." Who's to know what he did after that? Turns out I ended up seeing him, like, an hour later in the Target, like, as I was, like, walking to checkout,
He was
and
running errands.
dude, apparently after he, like, loaded his Glock, he had to, like, make a pit stop, but
That's
then he's, like, running around like, he's walking around Target with a purpose the likes of which I've never seen before, but a purpose nonetheless, and I'm sitting here like, I know he has a Glock and a Bowie knife.
right,
No one else knows he has a Glock and a Bowie knife.
right.
But he's just, like, rummaging through, like, the seasonal aisle and is like, "Fuck this bitch," and I was like, "Okay." I don't know who he's talking to, but I know it's not me, so I'm gonna check out and go home.
That's wow.
Yeah, never saw him again. I hope he didn't do anything rash. He seemed really, really young. Also, it's
Wow.
Lakeview, and people love calling the police in Lakeview, so, like,
They do.
I really hope he didn't do anything crazy.
People love calling the police in Chicago. I will
Girl,
say that.
people
That is a I'm gonna call the police city,
if it's one thing about Chicago, someone's calling the cops.
which it's crazy. I remember when we were in college and I was in one of my photo classes and we were across the street at, Grant Park,
Mhm.
just, like, having class, like, taking pictures outside with our professor, mind you, bunch of equipment, and we have, like, reflectors, C-stands, all, like, this, typical equipment that we would used for class.
Mhm.
Someone in the apartment building, you know that big glass apartment building that was next to someone in that building called the cops on us and said we were protesting. And so we all paused and, like, looked up at the apartment building like that, and we were like, "Whichever one of you," and he's, like, protesting as we're sitting here with, like, reflectors and cameras and, like, Apple boxes. And you see us, like, clearly setting up something that I think we were doing, like, location photography or something, and, like, how to use natural lighting and artificial lighting together. So I'm like, "This is nothing." They just love calling the cops.
People love to call, but you know what's even funnier about that? Half the time the cops don't even show up. Like
Which I was surprised that they did,
like,
but I
well,
feel like they probably said, "Oh, they're protesting," and that's when the cops are like, "Oh, we gotta stop this."
nobody told us about this. We have to tell them
Right.
their First Amendment right doesn't apply. There's too
Exactly.
many people with septum rings out there.
Right. You
We
know
gotta
what?
fix this.
Septum rings and Doc Martens, that's all we had,
Dude.
and they said, "That's too many in one place."
They said, "We've seen at least 4 people with cuff jeans.
Right. Light wash.
Dangerous. These are dangerous
Right.
people."
I see too many carabiners hooked to loops of pants. I needed to stop. You
Yeah,
all need to disperse.
leave immediately.
Like, which is crazy because that literally was all of us. Our septum rings, our cuffed light wash jeans, our Doc Martens, a carabiner of some sort, or a fanny pack with our, our clamps in it. Like, yeah, that's crazy. They said there's too many of y'all.
See, and the funny thing is, you're the only one who made it to New York. The rest of them bitches are in Logan Square hanging out at the fucking Native.
Not at the native. Not as the native. Oh my gosh.
Dude, I will say, like, because 'cause I've never been to New York. Coming soon.
Which is so wild to me.
Honestly, that's the one part of the country I actually have not, like, explored really. It's the East Coast. I've been all
Girl,
over the fucking Midwest. I've been on the West Coast. I've been in the South. I've been in the Bible
the
Belt.
East Coast is calling your name.
Dude, she really is. Let me get this money up, not my funny up, and I'll be out there.
Girl. Yeah.
Or both.
Yeah.
Or I'll get both up and get out there.
Yeah. You need to experience it. I feel like you would love it.
I feel like I would as well. You tell me these things about like cocktail prices, and
Yeah.
you like New York,
But
baby,
you know what?
got me fucked up with these prices.
I have a couple like haunts um that I have on my roster that I have close to my heart that aren't bad. Um and are actually kind of like around Chicago dive prices.
Period.
I will not say them live on the air because I do not want people coming in and up in the price. But um there are some dive bars that I frequent that I'm like, "Oh, this feels like home. This definitely feels like home." I actually I've only been there once and I found it by mistake, but it was like a Chicago themed dive bar. And I was like, "Oh." And it was in the most random spot. It was the day I got clay, actually. And I was waiting to like meet up with some family members. And I was like, I need to kill time. So here's this fresh kitten that I just got from the shelter and a carrier. And I just walked into this bar. I was like, this is a Chicago themed bar. What's going on here? And he's sitting there knocked out in a bar stool. And I'm just having a tequila, lemonade. And that was the start of our story.
It's the start of something
It's
new.
the start of something new, his first dive bar experience. And they were playing like punk music and everything. I was like, oh, I like this.
My people.
I like this. I like this a lot. Um,
See, now that you've been there a few years and you've like really started to build out like your true New York circle, do you find that you often run into a lot of the same people. Because like, in Chicago, there's no avoid
Mm,
despite there being, like, 3 or 4 million people in this fuck-ass city, everyone knows everybody. Like, everyone knows it,
yeah.
and you stay
Chicago is it's such a small community. It's actually insane. I never run into people here. Well, I'm not gonna say never, but, like, rarely have I run into people. But I also can't say that outside of, like, knowing each other, we run in the same circles. I feel like I have my toe in, like, a few different pools
Mhm,
because it's, like, people and it also depends on the borough because I have, like, friends who live and work in Queens. I have friends who live and work in Brooklyn. No one's really just hanging out in Manhattan. Well, let me say downtown, like, midtown to downtown Manhattan like that. Uptown, I'll probably run into somebody.
mhm.
Like Harlem, Upper East Side, East Harlem. I'm more likely to run into people there, um, but otherwise, especially if they, like, live and work in a different borough, I won't really run into them like that.
Mhm.
But I'm trying to think, have I met anyone with mutuals just, like, out? I don't think so. I don't think so.
I feel like I can never avoid my ops.
Yeah, and now, I'm thankful for not I don't really have any ops like that here, though.
See, my problem is when I was a much younger woman, I
Mhm. Mhm.
and my type hangs out in Logan Square.
Yeah.
I've outgrown them because I enjoy men, well, a man with
Mm.
drive
Singular. Yes.
with drive and passion.
Yes.
And the men that I was experiencing who hang out in Logan Square,
Mhm.
don't have.
Right. Right, right.
And there was a time where I was really Danny Phantoming my way through this pool, and then one of them ended up being the bouncer at a bar I frequent, and I learned that because I went in with Tyler and Austin, and I handed over my driver's license to be like, "I'm of age," and the man stopped in the middle of collecting everyone's IDs and went, "It's you." And I went, "Oh, no.
Oh.
No." And then he confronted me on blocking his phone number, and I had to lie and say I didn't do that and that I was in Mexico and
Oh.
just didn't have service. I did have service.
Mm.
I very
Yeah.
I very much did have service in Mexico, and I also
Yeah.
very much I did block his phone number.
Yeah.
I did do that.
Yes.
See, but you know what the problem was? Not to get on an aside, but he gave me the ick real bad because when we hung out for the first time when we went on a date for the first time, first and only date, mind you, um, he
Wait.
we went back to his apartment to just, like, smoke a bong and, like, be on about our lives, and he had these big ass windows that looked out onto his street. There was no
Mhm.
it was just a street, and he opened his blinds to be like, "Oh my god, look at the moon," and that's how he made a move, and I was like, "This is the worst moment of my life."
That's interesting.
I was like, "Oh, wow."
Look at the moon.
Yeah, also, you couldn't see the moon through the window. It was a street light. Um, but all the men that I did
It
like
was a street light.
dude, all the men that I did like that, that acted like that, they all hang out in Logan Square, and no
Oh, that tracks.
dude, when you were here, I posted that we were at the Native on my story,
Mhm.
and I had 3 different people that I have had relations with swipe up on my Instagram story and be like, "Love that bar. I wish I was there." And I was like, "I'm glad you weren't."
Well We had a fabulous time.
Dude, we sure fucking did.
We had a hoot and a half. My god. That was such a time. Um,
I just love a place that I can smoke cigarettes near the interior.
yeah, yeah.
I'm a simple girl with simple needs. Where can I have my Newport?
I think for me, I just want, like, a good dive that I can just, like, sit and yap in
Mhm.
and, like, just playing good music. What's crazy is okay, so I was in Brooklyn, it had to be a couple months ago, and I just had some time to kill, and I was like, "Let me find a bar," and as I was walking along, I found this bar called, Horses and Divorces. I'll say that on air because I'm not, everybody go visit. But it was very cute. Not a place I would go to by myself though. Also didn't seem like, I don't know. It was like, oof, the color ratio in here is different. Um it was it was very cute though. Like they had a pool table. It kind of reminded me, what was the last place that we went to in Nashville? That last bar with the pool table and the darts. I
Ray
don't know what it's called.
Rays? Rays?
That
I don't
sounds something along those lines. It reminded me of that,
okay.
and I was like, "Oh, this is cute." Like, I would come back here with a group of friends, not really somewhere that I would go on my own. But, um, I don't know where I was going with that, but I just thought I was like, "Ah, this is a cute spot."
I think
Um,
that's like, the if there's one thing you need as a person who lives in a major city above the age of, like, 25,
yeah,
is, like, you need a solid dive bar that you
yeah,
can just, like, camp out in basically for
yeah,
hours and shoot the shit. Because like, we are getting up there.
yeah, yep,
And there's something that just, like, does not appeal to me unless I have friends in town.
mhm,
There's really nothing that appeals to me about, like, bar hopping these days. I wanna go to one location. I wanna drink
yeah,
my
and I always feel like everywhere I go, especially, like, my usual spots, the crowd is kind of like, I feel like it also depends on the day, but, like, during the week, it'll be, like, the 20, I would say even, like, 28, like, our age and up that are out,
mhm.
but on the weekend or, like, a Friday or something, all of a sudden, in those same spots or, like, the surrounding bars, especially, like, a sports bar kinda place, everyone's, like, 22, and I get so annoyed. I'm like, "Why are you all here?"
See, it's such a double-edged sword, right? Because I do think the youngins need to be going outside. Like,
Yeah, of
the
course.
amount of people that I see who are, like, New York transplants or Chicago transplants or even
Mhm,
LA transplants, like, any of the big 3 really,
mhm.
I've noticed so many people between the ages of, like, 21 and 23 are just like, "Yeah, I, like, went out for happy hour, was home by 8, so that way I could do my 50-step skincare and, like, be in bed by 9:30 so I can go to my
Yeah,
Saturday 5 AM hot yoga," and it's like, "That's great and all, I'm really glad that you have healthy habits." But
yeah.
the youngins, like, the early 20s kids are not super into nightlife, I've noticed,
They're not.
which is really a bummer because when I was 22, 23,
I
I
was outside.
I was showing hole at the club. I was at Prism in a dress that barely covered my ass cheeks. Like, I was at Soundbar flat,
Oh my, I was just about to say I was at Soundbar.
like, with half a titty out.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I was having a raucous time. And I've noticed these kids these days just, like, are not into that, or they're like, "Oh my god, drinking more than, like, once a month, you're an alcoholic." Okay, first of all, I've never gone through a withdrawal before, so I'm not a real alcoholic.
right.
And second of all, like, why I think it's because everything is, like, recorded now. Like, everyone's got their phone
Yeah,
recording
yeah,
everybody and everything, and so nobody wants to have fun because they're afraid of being perceived.
and they don't, like, dance or anything, they don't, like, it's us old heads.
Okay,
that are
don't
maintaining the
ever
fun.
don't refer to us as old heads. We're young.
Okay.
We're
We are
young.
we're young, we're hot, and we're turned, but, like, we are the aunties and the unks, slowly. We're the young ones, but
No, we are.
we're getting there, and that's okay. I embrace that. But they don't know how to, like, have a time. They're
I
too
don't
cool for school, you know?
they're just, like, real locked up in that panopticon of their own making, and it's like I think though a
Mhm.
lot I not to blame it on the Ponderosa or anything, but I think a lot of people who are in that age range, particularly in major cities where there is such a strong
Mhm.
nightlife scene, I think half of them, or at least close to half, have, like, overly romanticized what it is like to go out.
Yeah.
When it's like the reality of
Yeah.
the situation is you're gonna be drinking a $4 beer and,
Yeah.
um, shimming back and
Yeah.
forth with it.
Yeah.
And then the other half is so afraid to, like, not come off as cool,
Yeah.
and it's like
Everything has to be perfectly curated for the night. There is no, like, you know,
which is
let's go out and see where the night goes.
so bizarre because, like so I've been approached at the bar, at the club sparingly,
Mhm.
mostly because when I let my face relax in totality, I look like I wanna be dead. Um How however, when I am just, like, being a goof with my friends, like
Mhm.
that because I just seem happy to be alive, as I so
Mhm.
often am, but rarely exhibit, like, that is when I've noticed. It's like when I ignore the fact that, like, somebody probably 5 people over from me is, like, posting an Instagram story, and then there's probably
Mhm.
me in the background, like, being myself, I don't know.
Uh,
It's like, you have to slowly start to adopt the, like, "People have phones, but that's none of my
yeah.
concern" mentality.
Yeah.
Because, like, especially with influencers trying to make a mad dash towards Chicago, which y'all gotta stop.
Stay away.
You
Stay
have
away.
This is a working class city. This is not like, we do have wealth disparity. I'm not gonna
I
say
heard about the new acronyms they're trying to give the neighborhoods.
Solo for South Loop,
Solo is crazy work.
Welo for West Loop.
Welo.
They're saying Rhino for River North. If I kill myself in front of these fucking people, then what?
That
Like, now what? Weepaw for River Park?
excommunicate them from the city, bro.
See?
Rhino? Welo?
Yeah.
Are they trying to WeHoify Chicago?
Dude, I don't know, but I
We
really like to
Welo.
and then
Wow.
but then they're also like, "This is not a transplant city." No, it is, if you're not a douchebag.
Yeah.
Like, Midwesterners don't play the, like they don't posture like in the other 2 major cities.
Mhm.
Like, very much when you meet somebody in Chicago out and about, we're a very warm, kind people.
Mhm.
But once we start to sniff out that you're on some type of bullshit, nobody wants to
Then
interact
it's
with you.
yeah.
Because, like, we are literally a city built and run by the working class of the
Yeah.
country.
They'll stump you out in their utility boots and denim.
Bro, like, y'all
And
are
their 501s and utility boots.
people talk about how people in Chicago don't pull any fits. It's because we have nobody to impress. We all like ourselves. Like, we have fun
There
here.
you go.
We just wanna, like, force people who have never been here before to take Malort shots and, like, have a hand.
Yeah. You know what I do miss is a late night Maxwell Street hot dog.
Mm. See, I'm not a hot dog person, like, one of the char-broiled burgers
Oh, yeah.
or, like, a char-broiled chicken sandwich
Yeah.
with them little limp dick fries. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Yes. Oh my god. Well, in that case, instead of our diva detention that we're usually doing or a crash out corner, what is a piece of advice that you would give someone coming to Chicago? Whether to
Uh,
visit or to live.
if you're gonna visit, all I can say is don't be a dick. Like,
Mhm.
Chicago is a very community oriented place.
Mhm.
Like, there really is something for everyone. So just don't be a fucking asshole because, like, a lot of us are just like trying to live our best lives and like
Mhm.
do the best we can. If you're looking to move here, however, because I do have some friends who are considering a move from other Midwestern areas to
Mhm.
Chicago. So I have no notes on the weather here because if you live in the Midwest, you already know what the fuck it is.
Right.
Um, a lot of people have been asking me like how they know what neighborhoods to move to. Get the fuck off TikTok because those people aren't going to show
Please
you.
do.
Those people aren't going to show you like the actual cool neighborhoods,
No.
or they're going to show you like the most gentrified parts of some
Mhm.
neighborhoods, and you don't need to do that. It, look up on Facebook that neighborhood,
Mhm.
join the community Facebook group,
Mhm.
and just read for a week the type of drama that goes on in your local
Yeah.
area, and that is how you know where to move. There's only one time I didn't do that before signing a lease, and I ended up a little bit in the hood, and I will never do that again. And by a little bit, I mean I lived in the hood for 2 years by accident.
Not by accident.
I couldn't afford to move, so I was just stuck there for 2 years, but
Yeah.
dude, I made it out the mud. I live on the north side now.
Yes.
But no, like, do your research. Also, biggest thing, it is not as scary here as people make it out to be.
I hate whenever okay, so when I came back from Chicago, oh my god, was that this week? That was
Yeah,
this week.
yeah, mama. No, it was a week from
Wow, time
yesterday.
is not real. But when I came back to work and all my kids and, like, coworkers like, "Oh my god, you went to Chicago? Oh my god, O Block. Oh my god, it's so dangerous. Oh my god, this. Oh my god, that." And I was like, "Y'all need to get off the internet.
Yeah,
You're
no.
acting like it's a GTA lobby in Chicago. And also, we live in New York. What are you talking about?
Like, don't get me wrong, don't go, like, hanging out in O Block, especially if you look like me.
Just have common sense. Like, have street smarts."
But no, it is not nearly as scary as people paint it out to be. Brandon
No.
Johnson is doing his darndest. It's the fucking city council that keeps fucking things up for him. We could have our own Mamdami here if the fucking city council of Chicago wasn't full of a bunch of jagoffs, but like the shit that y'all hear, although you know what? I kind of do love that in the media people think it's like Gotham because it keeps my rent down. So,
That is true.
uh,
That is true.
actually, you
I
know what?
wish I could say the same for here.
You know what? I lied. I'm taking that back. It's scary as fuck. Don't move here. 'Cause
It's
I'm
so
thinking
dangerous, do not move there.
I had a flash forward to a year from now looking at my rent increase. You know what? It's scary as fuck. Everyone's getting shot up. Don't move here.
Right.
You're gonna get
Don't even
robbed.
think about it.
You're gonna get robbed. Your car's gonna get stolen. If you have a phone, say goodbye. Like, don't move here. Do not come here. Do not come to my house.
Do not show up.
Do not show up.
Do not show up.
In all seriousness,
Um,
though, I love Chicago, and I wouldn't live anywhere else. So if you are gonna move here, you better have that same ride or die mentality.
that's true. I think for New York, um, I think it's similar to Chicago, and I think because it's also so diverse here as well, um, people have this, like, perception whenever, like, I'm talking to someone and I'll say, like, "Oh, yeah, I live in New York," and they'll start asking me about, like, different areas, like the Bronx, Harlem, of course, all the places that we populate. They're like, "Oh my god, it's so dangerous. How do you do that all the time?" I'm like, "These are literally just communities like any other place." I don't like,
Man,
"Oh my god, it's so, it's so dangerous. The block is probably hot all the time." Da, da, da. No, no. You see New York, and the only thing that you think of is like Williamsburg or like downtown, like Soho, Midtown, financial district type teas, or like upper west side area where you have like old money. That's all you think of when you think of New York. No one ventures out to anything else. And I think you're missing out on a lot of rich, like, culture and experience just by staying in, like, Midtown and then saying that you've been here. No, you haven't. You passed through in that case, but you haven't allowed yourself to experience the fullness and the beauty and the color and culture that is New York by
You know
putting yourself in a
what?
bubble.
And period. I think a lot of people conflate safety
Mhm.
with where where do black and brown people not hang out?
Right.
And it's like, or you could go see black and brown people experience joy and community and like
Right.
give back to their spaces.
Exactly, and be welcomed in too.
Right.
Like, but no, here you are scared to hop on the 6 train. So,
Those unconscious biases are showing.
they sure are, and Cake said, "Yes, they are."
She's an ally.
She peeked back in agreement. Well, folks, I guess that's a wrap. It was a chill episode today.
Yeah, we out
Yeah,
here.
we're out here, we're just living life.
We're just doing our thing. Please
Um,
be sure when you get the fuck up on out of here that you wash your
mhm.
hands.
Please do, and as you open the door, go ahead and, pull your phone out, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram, our beautiful new website. Well, I guess at this point it's not new, but we do have a website.
We do.
Listen to us on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, on Spotify. You can find us here every single week. Um, yeah, and that's pretty much it. Get out the stall. There's a line.
Please leave.
Okay, bye.
Bye.